Hello, friends. I'm Fiona Sitkin. Welcome to our channel, The Bridge for Women Worldwide. Today, I will be talking about my early friendships, my early reminiscences. The question is, why? As I watch my friends grow older and enter new phases of life, I've noticed a common thread. Year after year, many of us acknowledge our friends, but too late when they are no longer with us. So today I will be pondering what kind of early friends did I have? What was the stimulus they gave me? And what is the lasting image that brings each of them to my mind? Well, it never stops to amaze me how much stays under the ashes of our youth fire unless we spell it out. So that's why. Let's rake the past. Okay, here's my preteen years friend named Luda in the working class suburb of Kaidaki in Dnipropetrovsk, Ukraine. My grandma Sonia lived in a small house there where I spent my summer vacations with abundance of traditional borscht every day, chicken cutlets, sour cherry pies, and compotes, plus heaps of crispy fried potatoes, and on occasion, 1 ruble in cash to go to the kiosk and buy ice cream. Ice cream was forbidden by my mother, who was afraid of the kids catching cold. I loved staying with my grandma, carefree and feeling so loved. And I made friends with Luda, a granddaughter of my grandma's late friend Marika. Her mother was Tata Motya or Auntie Motya. They lived close by in another pre-war built house, or rather a hut, neatly hand-painted white inside and out with blue window frames and a super neat scrubbed interior. Motya was a medical nurse, hardly ever making her ends meet, but cleanliness was her godliness. After Luda and I got tired running around, sneaking into the neighbors' backyards for some flower seeds or picking fruit from a black mulberry tree for hours on end, we were handed huge slices of fresh bread with thick layers of plum on it. Tasty, heavenly tasty. Auntie Motya would also allow us to go by ourselves. There was nobody to accompany us anyway, to the bank of the river Dnieper with its white sand beaches to swim or bathe as much as we wanted. Luda was a good swimmer. I was not, so she had more fun, but never mind. We both enjoyed that just being there, breathing the fresh Dnieper air. I remember Luda being very suntan, with naturally darker skin than mine. I could spend hours in the sun and only get sunburn or yellowish skin by the end of summer. A suntan was, and is, fashionable, and I was envious of it all my life. See, I am too white, nothing to do about it, although I tried long enough. I remember it so well. The Dnieper River was wide at that place, the other bank hardly visible. White sands, dark blue Dnieper waters, bright blue skies of Ukraine, and we were free spirits, sitting on one towel, shoulder to shoulder, looking into horizon, and I felt emotionally attached to Luda, excited by her bravery entering the waves of the great river, and I admired her slim suntan silhouette when I saw her emerging from the waters. These were my early childhood memories with a friend Luda, who later disappeared into the blue after they relocated. It was a sentimental friendship, very sentimental, with a mutual emotional support. With Luda, I felt a trust. I felt to trust a friendly shoulder next to me. Yes. Let me now tell me about my other friend, one of my high school years, also named Luda, in the city of Uzhgorod, Ukraine. We used to walk home from school together for 15 minutes or so, and then stop on the corner and talk and talk and talk about everything and nothing, chattering like all girls do, discussing things and classmates and stuff. Luda was a remarkable beauty, by the way, with chiseled features, high cheeks, beautiful olive skin, green, big eyes, and a slim figure. Extremely attractive, but not too bold. Intelligent, too. She came from a poor household, her mother making money on the side as a cheap seamstress, and her father, as I remember him, always drunk on the sofa. The family was afraid of him. Luda was never in a hurry to return home. She received low grades in class, most probably because she could not do her homework properly. But she was important to me as a trusted sounding board, especially after one occasion, as follows. Three boys living in the same street, the teenage hooligans, started stalking me, chasing me, running after me, and seeking to touch my big for my age breasts. I was petrified and managed to run away from them most of the time. Most of the time. But there was one occasion, there was one moment. They got me. They surrounded me in broad daylight in the middle of the empty street, and they pushed me and touched me for a moment. But in my entire life, I have never felt so humiliated and ashamed. This memory still haunts me. It was Luda who spooked them, yelling, "Go away or I call the militia." And to me, Luda said, "Forget this. Forget like it never happened before. Erase it from your memory." She was a beacon of practicality, my Luda. And I tried to erase the memory honestly. Still, it sometimes pops up again like a never healing wound. Am I oversensitive or what? I don't know. What happened with our friendship next, you may ask? We graduated from school, and in our classmates get together, we often remember Luda, only nobody knew where she is now. Her mother once shared that Luda married an engineer, that is, moved up in life and out of the poverty circle of her childhood. Her image and features stand clear-cut in my memory. God willing, she is happy, for she was a true friend in need for me. Yet another girlfriend from my senior high school years was Lidia, Lida. A great picture of a regular Ukrainian beauty, tall, a proud head with good features held high, a long black hair reaching her waist, braided. We bonded based on our love of reading, of literature. Her family owned a pretty house and a good book collection with some rare volumes which were hard to get at it. Lida's parents were high-positioned and well-connected in the former Soviet Union. Her father, a regional prosecutor, and her mother, part of party bureaucracy. I've often been to their house to borrow and discuss books, lunch, or just talk. 3 episodes pop up in my memory in connection with Lida. First, The way she once guided me after my desperate fit, crying over the unwanted kiss some boy planted on me. Why on earth did I think it destroyed my reputation or anything? I went nearly crazy, hysterical with nonstop crying, and Lida hugged me as we stood on the street corner in the middle of the night after a graduation party. And she repeated 10 times or more, quote, not to worry. Nobody thinks you're belittled by that kiss. You will have your great love coming for you. You'll be happy, I promise. I swear. It finally calmed me as I used to trust her vision and practicality. Episode 2. We continued to meet from time to time after graduation. Lida became a medical doctor and signed up a contract to go to work in the far north of the Soviet Union, to Norilsk, mostly to get away from her over-controlling parents. She was not happy in love or marriage and shared with me why she divorced a romantic polar pilot. He was a disgusting drinker, shitting in his pants with vodka in his veins, as she put it. Lida came to believe nobody would love her again, and I reassured her about a fresh start. Episode 3. Lida went abroad as a doctor and then shared how popular she became with the local men there, all very passionate in Yugoslavia. We never mentioned love with capital L, although this is what we both wanted. I don't think Lida ever got what she so fully deserved with her kind heart, broad thinking, and a well-read personality. Handsome, well-educated, well-off. She had every advantage to thrive, but no luck, unfortunately. Could I do more to help her snap herself out of the corners that life put her in? I don't think so. We followed our parallel paths in life, sympathetic to each other, but never very close. Life is not always fair, let me tell you that. I remember one day I met her mother, Victoria Stanislavovna, on a bus from the city center in Uzhgorod. And her mother begged me to use my international connections to discover where Lida lived, so she would come home. Of course I did that. I found a good Samaritan, my friend Caroline from the Swiss British Council in Bern, Switzerland. And Caroline detected via the Red Cross where Lida lived. And Lida indeed returned home. Well, long story short, many years later, I learned from our classmates that Lida came home to die from cancer. Amen. Rest in peace, Lida. So much about my early friends. We were good together, but then we went our separate ways. I am grateful to have had them in life. I acknowledge them as positive influences of my youth for the stimuli and support they gave me. Their lasting images twinkle like candles in the wind in my memory. My point here is as follows. Girlfriends are very important for each other. Why? It's because they make us more stable emotionally, trusting a friendly shoulder that always supports you. You just know that you can lean on them, and even as a distant memory, their words fill us with confidence that we are strong people who can do everything and can make it everywhere. Thank you for listening, my friends. Thank you ever so much. Please subscribe to our channel We already have 15,000 plus subscribers, and we would love to have you too. You may want to leave your comments if you want, okay? For now, bye-bye.